Number 13 is surface area compression when 48 hours can feel like a month. So I hang out in a lot of occult circles and people talk about like the various types of, cool magic that they do. And one of the things that's described is time magic. Okay, cool. What does that fucking mean? Basically, you can be so freaking intense that you can compress an entire month of interrelating in, a long weekend. And it doesn't even have to be, you don't have to draw any pentagrams in the air or call in the four corners to do this. You just have to be super fucking intense and talk a lot. You then also can do the other cool magic shit, and either way, you get this result, which is you build a deep level of intimacy in a very short amount of time. I tend to do this with the people that I'm dating. One, just because I fucking am intense and I talk a lot, and I do pentagrams in the air. And I have a circle tattooed on my forehead, and I'm covered in Sanskrit. However, what this then does for the dynamic is that it can create sometimes a false sense of intimacy. It's not that the intimacy is wrong. It just doesn't really have a strong foundation. It's like floating in space. I'm fine with this, and many of my partners are also fine with this, and we then play in that cool liminal space. Other people can feel as though it's very ungrounded, because it is. It's not grounded in time. It's like, I've known you for a weekend. And it doesn't even necessarily have to involve sex at all. It's just deep, deep, deep levels of intimacy through emotional bonding and communication and shared values, and usually going out and doing cool shit. And it doesn't even have to involve psychedelics, although it can too. I'd be very careful when leveraging psychedelics in this way, because what can happen with or without the psychedelics is you then have like months worth of dynamic that has no actual foundation in the rest of your life. And you don't have any protocols in place yet to actually hold this relationship unless you're incredibly like precise about how you set up the boundaries, how you set up the other things we've talked about in this video, set up the actual languaging around space, the actual labels about what you are and are not to the other person. People can become very overwhelmed. Even me, I like to think of myself as very grounded and stable, I can become very overwhelmed because my heart becomes so open to this other person that I'm interrelating with. This is a like lovely way to, I don't want to say shit test because that sounds very negative and pejorative, and that's not how I mean this, but a lovely way to find out if someone is a good long-term partner. And it can end in a, successful marriage until that marriage is no longer successful, or it can end in, just a long weekend and then parting ways. But either way, you not only have this really deep connection, but you then are able to understand whether or not the actual relationship has legs.